Hello everybody, this is number 10, 1x long nymph hook. I'm going to be tying the Atherton number 2. I'll explain the materials as I go. Starting with some 020 wire wraps for weight. About 9 or 10 turns will be good. You want it about just slightly forward of halfway. You don't want it way up there crowd the eye, because we'll have some hackle and whatnot to wrap up there shortly. Using 8/0 black thread. Trick I've learned for this: build a little dam in the back, then go straight up to the front and build a little dam. That way your wire won't move around on you. Now bring your thread back to about the barb, the start of the bend. Now for the tail, 3 or 4 pheasant tail fibers, slightly shorter than the length of the hook or length of the shank. That looks good right there. Now we'll bring this back up to about where the wire wraps start. You don't have to worry too much about a taper. We've got a pretty buggy body. Now for the rib, just medium oval tinsel, gold or silver will be fine. So catch that in to back about where her tail is. I got a little bit of shagginess right there. I'll go ahead and trim that off. Go to back here, close to where we're starting it. Put a little wax on your thread, a hare's ear, dubbing, pulled straight from the mask. Guard hairs and everything. So this is a pretty buggy fly. That's part of its utility. That's why it's an effective fly. Is the same thing with your hare's ears, I guess, is the bugginess of these bodies. So let's get that up there. Now get that noodle a little tighter on there. A little bit of a taper going forward. Now we're not going all the way up right here. Might need to go a little further than that, so let's put a little bit more dubbing back on here. Okay, about right there's probably good. Now I'm going to do a counter wraps for this tinsel, probably maybe about 4, not too close together, but help to hold this hare's ear in. There's 4, we'll bring it up here and catch this in, trim this off. Now the original pattern calls for a Kingfisher feather for the wing case. This is a bright blue looking feather. A lot of people don't have Kingfisher, so I'm just going to use blue floss here. And what I do is I'll put it a little bit to the side and then bring it back forward so I can get 2 widths basically, which gives it a little bit wider of a wing case. So go to about that far. We'll be able to spread it out a little bit as we wrap that wing case over. So next up is the thorax. More of the same hare's ear. and pretty good size clump for your thorax here. This is a pretty buggy fly. So just wrap a fairly tight noodle on here. Let's get this back right here. Okay, that might be a little bit buggier than I wanted. Yeah, let's pull a little bit of that out. Let's see, okay. Now just bring your floss over. Try to, I don't know if you can see that, but it's about 2 strands wide. If you can catch this, and I'm going to have to kind of do it as a pinch wrap here before you get it down too tight. Just try to put it where you want it over the top. Okay, that's good enough right there. That'll do. And let's lock this back down before we trim it off. Now the last thing on the fly is just some partridge hackle tied pretty sparsely. So just English partridge wing I got right here. Pulled one of the feathers from the middle. Pull all the fluff off the bottom. Don't need too many turns of this feather. So there's your partridge. Just like any soft hackle, it doesn't take too many wraps to get it in. And this is a pretty soft stem, but it will pull out if you don't get it locked in there too tight. So I want to get that locked in there before we start wrapping it around. Now you don't have a lot to work with, so pretty much do need your hackle pliers for wrapping this. You only want about 1 turn, maybe 1.5 if you can get it, but so just preen these back. Don't let it turn around too much on you there. So there we go. That's going to be enough right there. Let's get this thing locked in. Try not to pinch too many of the fibers here. So 2 wraps there, got that locked. Now go ahead and trim your tip off. Now before we build too much of the head, what I like to do here is push a little bit of your partridge off to the side so that you can see the wing case when you're looking at the fly from the back. So if you split them a little bit and push them to the side, you can see the wing case there, and then that's about it. So you just clean up the head a little bit. Doesn't need to be too big, doesn't have to be too small, just anything to get it wrapped up. 3 or 4 turn whip finish here, some head cement, and then we call it done. The Atherton number 2. There you have it. Some head cement and you're done. So, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.